more.
In Tennessee. Why did you see what he did? Rabbit in maroon and white.
It's the Southeastern Conference. It's here, inside the press box.
Legendary voices to go along with this Southeastern Conference. You just heard, again, the great John Ward of Tennessee, Larry Munson of Georgia, Jack Crystal of Mississippi State, and the late Rod Bramlett of Auburn. And again, raise your hand if you grew up listening to those guys and wanting to be one of them. Yeah,
my hand's raised.
Everybody inside the press box. We're doing what we're doing.
That
because
is
those guys. Because
that is the best rejoin we have. It's not close.
For the younger generation, I encourage you to go on Hulu or ESPN Plus, whatever you got, and watch the SEC Voices
100%
SEC Storied from a few years ago. That'll give you an education on what college football sounded like in the SEC on the radio, and there's nothing better to listen to that.
And keeping this in mind, and I know, kids, this will be hard to believe, but back in the day, we were lucky to get one college football game a week on TV. We'd have one Saturday afternoon game. So if you wanted to listen to anything else, if you wanted to be a part of any other game, radio was how you're going to do it. That's how you got it. And
I got many cramps in my arms holding the radio a certain way, so that the station,
the station would not.
That's right.
I can see that. I can see that. I absolutely can.
And y'all want an electric moment in a college football game, and one that gets underrated. Y'all know my feelings for Tennessee.
Oh yeah,
but
love them, do you?
But in Neyland Stadium, whenever John Ward's "It's Football Time" in Tennessee goes through the speakers, that'll give you chill bumps.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love the way certain organizations keep voices alive that way.
Yes.
It's still. I mean, you can't say Tennessee football without John Ward, and it's football time in Tennessee. You can't.
Well, there's a Morgan Wallen song now, because of course he's a big Tennessee fan. There's a Morgan Wallen song that literally starts with that call. The song starts with that call. It's football time in Tennessee. It's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney wrote one and actually sang it in front of John Ward, and that's on that show.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We love that.
Well, we are we're blessed to know a bunch of the current SEC broadcasters, and be friends with them and be able to call them friends, and it is pretty cool. I mean, that's the whole idea of this radio show when we started it over 4.5 years ago, was to bring those kind of people together, to have the kind of conversations that we would have with them in press boxes all across the country. Yeah, we're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about your quarterback and your running back and your defensive line, but we're also going to just hang out and talk about what you're doing from a job standpoint, how your family's doing. Guys, that's what we do inside the press box. And so that's why we thank the Osborne family and the Lacy family for sharing Dad with us this week. Same goes for Mike Mote, Bart Heitch, the whole crew, whoever you are. Appreciate you guys being a part of the press box. We have some fun. We can get back to that SEC quarterback list is ranked by The Athletic, tier 1 through 7. We're still looking for some other SEC quarterbacks. Tier 3, we found Talon Green of Arkansas. We found Texas A&M's Marcel Reed. That's it for Tier 3. Tier 4. Oh, looky there. There's the Ole Miss quarterback, Austin Simmons.
Oh, okay.
I thought he might be a little higher.
I was going to say he'd be higher.
There's the Auburn quarterback, Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Jerry's still out on him. I still say when Oklahoma couldn't figure out a way to keep him in the lineup last year due to injury and everything else with their wide receivers. So I still don't know anything about the guy. Let's see how healthy he can stay and how healthy his targets can stay this year.
Yeah, we are still in Tier 4, where we find Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, Georgia quarterback Gunnar Stockton, all listed as Tier 4 quarterbacks.
Okay.
Blake Shapen of Mississippi State, also in Tier 4. You have to go to Tier 5 to find the Tennessee presumed starting quarterback, Joey Aguilar, the transfer from Coastal Carolina. And do you guys have any idea who's going to be the starting quarterback for Kentucky this year?
Nope.
Probably Zach Calzada, isn't
it? Did you even know that he was with Kentucky now? That's a former
I did.
guy,
looking at our notes, I did, but I have to be honest, I didn't realize he had another 9th year of eligibility. My God, he's been in the SEC forever.
Texas A&M, am I right? Is that where I associate?
Started at A&M, beat Alabama. That was his big claim to fame. Remember in 21.
Yeah.
That's what got his name on the map. And then he went to Auburn with Brian Harson, got there, never took a snap. Was hurt
Whoa.
the whole time he was there, right?
Mhm.
And then he went to, didn't he go like to Arkansas State or someplace like that? I don't remember exactly.
No idea. Yeah. Well, he's
But
found
he
him.
disappeared and now he's back.
Yeah, he's found himself in Lexington, Kentucky now, and so he's going to the projected quarterback for the Wildcats. Here, just outside of the SEC, here's Florida State's Tommy Castellanos. I mentioned him because he's already proven he's got a big mouth. Wasn't he the one talking about
He was.
Alabama? You know,
Yeah. I know that Alabama players were asked about that yesterday,
yeah.
and they had the prototypical response: "We'll handle it
Oh
on
yeah.
the field."
Yeah, I was going to say that'll be bulletin board material for
You
them.
think? Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tier 6. Oh, Bart Heitch. Do you know who's going to the presumed starting quarterback at Wake Forest? Is Robbie Ashford.
Oh, I saw that last night, and he is going to eat that up.
Wake.
4-8 for Wake this year. I'm sorry, they're not doing much better than that.
my
I hate it
goodness.
for them, but 4-8 Wake.
Let's see. Are we missing anybody?
Ashford.
Have we touched everybody from the SEC? I hope so.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Joey Aguilar from App State, that's now at Tennessee, is that high. And I say that high at 5.
I will say the one thing that I am kind of glad to see is, and I know that we talked about him.
Missouri. We didn't hear about Missouri.
Yeah, we didn't hear about Missouri.
That's the only one, I think.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
They're still trying to decide who their quarterback is.
Do they have one?
I think they're having
not according to this list. They don't.
no. For this, they may not have one. Well, I've got it in my notes somewhere.
Bo Prabula.
Bo Prabula. Is that
Prabula or Sam Horn? And Sam Horn's another name that sounds familiar to me.
Wasn't Sam Horn the backup last year that whenever Brady Cook got hurt, he came in and it was putrid?
Yeah.
I think they played one or two guys, didn't they? Behind him, and it wasn't good either way. So.
Going back to the old Castellanos thing, Florida State let the best quarterback that they had that should have been the starting quarterback this year, they let him walk, and he is now with your Mississippi State Bulldogs as the backup to Blake Shapen. Because there's a guy, Luke Cromenhock, who went to Benedictine down in Savannah, and Brent and I
coached against him.
Brent got to see him up close, and wasn't so great for us at the time. But he started at Florida State last year, and that is an impressive dude, but a stupid impressive quarterback. Now, I think obviously you don't want Blake Shapen to have to go through what he did last year, but I think if you're Mississippi State, you feel better than you did last year if that does happen.
Do you know what else Florida State and Mississippi State have in common? They both went 2-10 last year.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
It's the truth.
How about that? Yeah.
Who was more impressive at 2-10, Mississippi State or Florida State? I would say Mississippi State because they were in many more games than Florida State was.
Mississippi State. That's not close.
Yeah,
roster too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the Missouri quarterback. He is listed as Tier 4, along with Austin Simmons from Ole Miss and Jackson Arnold from Auburn. Bo Prabula is the transfer from Penn State.
Okay. Yeah, he wasn't going to play with Aller there.
Exactly. Yeah. So he did play.
He was in the conversation at the beginning of the year last year, I think.
He was because I think a lot of folks were not sure about Aller, and I'm still not, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not 100% sold on him. I think Tyler Ward, their fine all-purpose player, bailed them out in a lot of situations last year, and they're really going to miss him on that offense this year because he was kind of like the guy that could do anything. You could line him up at fullback if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was just an X factor. He was a guy that you had to get the ball in his hands, and they don't have that. And I'm still waiting on Penn State to win a big game. They haven't really done it yet.
They haven't. We can talk about today's teams at SEC Football Media Days. Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz was first at the podium today. This team went 10-3 last year, 5-3 in the league. They were number 22 in the final AP poll and beat Iowa in the Music City Bowl. We mentioned their starting quarterback is either Prabula or Sam Horn. The defense is expected to be good this year, which could help them out as well. Kentucky and Mark Stoops, my goodness, 4-8 last year against what was the 18th hardest schedule in the nation. They're looking again for a new quarterback. Zach Calzada needs some help with the offensive line, etc. Arkansas's Sam Pittman 7-6 last year, 3-0 in bowl games now after beating Texas Tech in the Liberty Bowl. They've got, of course, quarterback Talon Green going for them. What can they do around that? How about their schedule? They actually host Notre Dame, guys.
Yeah, they got that third game is Ole Miss, I think, and then it's Memphis, which is not easy, and then they have Notre Dame. That's going to be a great Saturday of college football because you got Texas and Notre Dame to start the day.
Yeah.
And then you've got Auburn, Oklahoma, and then you wrap the night up with Georgia and Alabama.
Wow, what a day.
That's pretty good. I think that's right. I think those are the games on that day. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
It's got to be a tough one for Arkansas and Sam Pittman, who needs
but if you could figure out a way to win that game, man, that'd be huge. It'd be huge.
Yeah, man. As much as we love Sam Pittman, he needs a good year.
He does.
In Fayetteville. Meanwhile, in College Station, Mike Elko back for his second season at Texas A&M. They were 8-5 last year. That included a Las Vegas Bowl loss to USC. A lot of their season hinges on Marcel Reed, how well he plays, plus the performance of their offensive line and wide receivers as well. Their schedule also includes Notre Dame, plus LSU and Texas.
I'm not seeing this team any better than 8 wins.
Yeah,
because they've never really done better than 8 wins, no matter how much money they got, no matter what coach they got. Guys, I don't know where does the 9th win come from on that schedule. In my humble opinion, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Our buddy Phil Steele has A&M tied for 4th in the league.
Okay,
along with Oklahoma and LSU. So
I think LSU needs to do a little better than that. But
yeah, you can't tell me that A&M and LSU are on the same plane. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't believe that either. Yeah.
I think there's too much to prove for Marcel Reed as opposed to Nussmeier. I mean, we know what Nussmeier can do. I'm just not too sure how good of a passer Reed is.
And you look at A&M, at Notre Dame, at LSU, at Texas.
Whew.
That's
hard.
Now, I mean, the rest of the schedule is manageable. You have Auburn at home, Mississippi State at home, Florida at home, at Arkansas, hosting South Carolina. The rest of it's manageable, and that may be one of the lighter schedules in the SEC if there is such a thing.
I think they'll find a way to drop one of those, though.
100%.
Which one? Yeah.
I think
Florida will be hard. I think.
I think of the Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, where they've got 3 straight weeks to wrap up September and start October. Of those 3, all at home in a row, which is kind of impressive in and of itself, there's a realistic possibility that they could drop 2 out of 3 of those.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. I think they have to win at least 2 or 3, but I could see them losing 2 out of 3 as well. Just because that's A&M. That's what A&M does.
I think possibly with another reason why he may kind of have them on the same playing field a little bit. I agree. I think LSU's obviously a much better team than A&M is going to be. But looking at LSU's schedule, I mean, their last 4 games in a row, they're at Alabama, then Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and then at Oklahoma, which are, they could possibly go 2-2 in those last 4-game stretch. And I think LSU's going to be a really good team. But, I mean, being able to go to Alabama and then go to Oklahoma to try to win those 2 games is going to be really, really tough.
Is there a more important game opener, season opener for a team in the league besides the LSU Clemson game?
I know.
Just because it's Brian Kelly needing to win a home opener or a season opener for the first time since being there.
Yeah, I think the only other one that you could possibly point to would be Texas and Ohio State, but I don't know. I
don't think it hurts Texas if they lose.
Yeah, that's what I don't know that it's detrimental to Texas if they lose it.
I don't know that hurts really either of the teams.
No, in the grand scheme of things, I think LSU isn't by any means dead if they lose to Clemson, especially on the road at Clemson.
But it's that
I don't think it'll happen.
Feeling, though,
yeah,
100%. What can you do? What have I got to do to win a season opener here?
No doubt. And really, truly, I think the sneaky game in the SEC is going to be that LSU at Oklahoma game to wrap up the regular season. I think that game is going to be ginormous whenever you get to that point in the season.
You would imagine it's going to have, not only could potentially have SEC championship implications on it, But of course, I would imagine, assuming that the season goes how we expect it to, that it's going to have playoff implications as well.
Well, and it may have coach implications if both of those teams are struggling or one of the other teams is struggling. There's a lot of reasons that game's going to be huge.
Yeah.
But I think from what you guys are saying, if we are projecting these teams to rebound the way we expect, that could very well be for a playoff spot or a spot in the SEC championship game opposite maybe Texas. That would be something.
But do you think that because both those games being the first game of the season, two big games to open up the season for all four of those teams, is it so, we run into the issue where is it too early in the season that it really comes down to and affects the college football playoffs, at the end of the season? Because they always say, well, that was the very first game of the season. The team has changed. They're playing really good now. That's the one, I guess, bright side of playing a really big game at the beginning of the season is, you take that loss early enough that it doesn't affect you as much.
I think it's the way you lose it.
Yep.
I mean, you think about how it didn't affect Clemson last year, and they got blown out by Georgia.
Yep.
And, didn't hurt them. Some people would argue that it could have and should have, but it didn't. I think it does. I don't know. I think there's depends on, what else you do. If you stub your toe somewhere you shouldn't, I think it puts more pressure on you to win the games you have to win at home games that are, you're supposed to win. And that makes that harder, but I don't think it'll hurt if you lose at the beginning of the year.
Hey, real quick before we say sayonara from SEC Media Days here on a Thursday, but one thing that we haven't talked about that I wanted to make sure we mention is while we're talking about Texas, they brought defensive back Michael Taff to SEC Media Days in Tuesday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he did that was really, really special, if you haven't seen it on social media, go and look at it. I know On3 has a really good post about it.
Yep.
But he wore a burnt orange tie. But when we saw him walking around Digital Drive earlier on in the week, we saw that it had something on it but didn't know what it was. And he created a tie that had the initials of all the campers and counselors who died at Camp Mystic in the Texas floods, and a burnt orange tie with a bunch of initials in white kind of embroidered on it. And I thought that was a really, really cool gesture for somebody that kind of gets overlooked in the SEC, but a really, really cool gesture this week.
He's a heck of a player, too.
And I thought what was really neat was me and Colin had actually gone over to, they've got all these different media rooms here that they go from one interview to another. And we actually went to one of the other media rooms where Sark was in there talking more of a conversational type media room instead of the big main thing. Right. And that was one of the questions that they had asked him was, with Taft doing that, was that something that he ran by you? Was that something that and he just said that's just the kind of kid he is, that he was very big once that happened on wanting to help and raise money and that kind of stuff. And he said once he's got his mind on something, he is invested. He's not just saying it just to say it, that he's going to do it in full force.
That's a great point. Appreciate you bringing that up, Colin. Good stuff. In our final minute, let's do this. By the end of the day, it's the deadline for SEC media to vote their decisions for just, who's going to be the champion. And I think we actually get to vote for who's going to be in the championship game, the SEC championship game, and then who's going to win it. So not what you think, fellas, but what you think the media will vote. We'll probably find out in a press release tomorrow. Mike Mote, who you think the media thinks will play for the SEC championship and who will win it?
I'm going to say the vast majority of them will say Texas, Georgia again.
And winning it?
Georgia.
I'm going Texas, Georgia, and Texas. Brent, you want to go? Wrap us up?
Yeah, of course I'm a Georgia fan, so I got to go Georgia. But I will say, the more I look at Georgia's schedule, and then you look at their difficulty of the schedule, it's not that tough of a schedule because of being able to have so many home games. So I'm going to go Georgia, probably against Texas in the SEC championship again.
I'm going to guess Georgia to win it. Yes, Georgia to win it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we know Colin's picking Tennessee. So
Colin, Tennessee and Missouri.
Tennessee 12th, boys.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt. That's who he's got.
I think it's going to be LSU and either Texas or Georgia, with LSU winning it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Wow.
Hey, guys, thanks to these fellas. Thanks to Laura Rutledge. Thanks to Commissioner Greg Sankey. Thanks to all our guests throughout the week, but especially thanks to these guys who have been away from home all week to help us out. Colin Lacy, Brent Osborne, kudos to you, fellas. Thanks so much.
Good job, guys. Thanks.
Hey, it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.
Be safe on the way home and find us tomorrow for a full wrap of SEC Football Media Days here inside the press box.